Imagine waking up one morning, opening Facebook or Instagram, and realizing the news is completely gone. No ABC, no local paper, no breaking stories. Just nothing from any news organization. This isn't a scene from a movie. It actually happened in Canada in 2023. Facebook just turned the news off overnight for every Canadian user. And now Australia has passed a law specifically designed to make sure that can never happen here, or at the very least to make it extremely expensive if it does. The law is called the News Bargaining Incentive, and it's caused an international argument so loud that the American government is now calling it foreign extortion. To understand why Australia is doing this, you need to understand what's happened to journalism over the last decade, not just in Australia, everywhere. When news is posted on a digital platform, the platform earns revenue from the viewers and readers it attracts. But where is that news actually coming from? It's coming from a real person, a journalist on the ground working for a news company doing the hard work of reporting. That journalist creates value. The platform captures it. Now, you could argue that the platform gives the news company something in return: free visibility, a massive audience, some referral traffic back to their website. And that's true. But here's the problem with news specifically. People don't seek it out. They stumble across it. You don't open Al Jazeera looking for the latest geopolitical update. You're on Instagram for the memes, the reels, the entertainment. The news just happens to show up in your feed. That dynamic gives the platforms enormous leverage. The majority of their revenue has nothing to do with news. So when a government says pay the news companies for the content you're profiting from, the platforms have a simple answer. Fine, we'll just remove the news. Their users won't leave, the memes stay, the revenue stays, the journalists lose. That's exactly what happened in Canada, and that's the loophole Australia had to close. So here's what they did. Instead of punishing platforms for carrying news, they taxed them on their total revenue. Full stop. Nothing to do with news, at least on the surface. Just, you operate in Australia at scale. You pay a 2.25% levy on what you earn here. But, and this is the clever part, if you want to reduce that tax bill, you can strike a commercial deal with a news company. And for every dollar you pay to a publisher, the government knocks off more than $1 from your levy. Pay a news company and you pay less to the government. Don't pay anyone and the government takes it instead. It's the classic carrot and stick. Except this time, you can't remove the news. If you do, you end up paying more. So essentially, they incentivized having news on the platform. The earlier law was, if you use our news, pay us. If you don't use our news, you don't pay us. The new law is, if you use our news, you pay us, or the other alternative you have is to pay a lot more to the government, you decide. The details. The tax is 2.25% of Australian revenue. Not profit, revenue. For platforms with more than 5 million Australian users per month and more than $250 million in local revenue per year. As mentioned before, you don't have to pay the government. You can pay news organizations directly and get a credit worth more than what you paid. $1 to a large outlet gets you $1.50 off your tax bill, and $1 to a smaller regional outlet gets you $1.70. And to stop platforms from gaming it and paying a friend of theirs, no single deal can offset more than 25% of what's owed. So at minimum, 4 separate deals have to be struck. Hi, real quick before we get back to the good stuff, if you've been enjoying Cardboard Comics, that's awesome. I'm a single creator who is running the channel. Every frame, every sound, every word on this channel comes from me and probably a lot of coffee. So if you want to support what's happening here and get some cool stuff in return, I just launched a Patreon, early access, behind the scenes, polls where you pick what I cover next, and much more. Links in the description. Even just checking it out means a lot. Okay, back to the topic of Australia and the news situation. The area left untouched. There's a problem the law doesn't fully address. Increasingly, people ask AI for news summaries instead of clicking through to news sites, meaning journalists get no traffic and no revenue, but AI chatbots are explicitly exempt from the law because they give synthesized answers rather than links. Google has pointed this out loudly, essentially saying we're paying, OpenAI isn't, and they're doing the same thing. The government says AI regulation is coming in a future framework, but that framework doesn't exist yet. The NBI is very risky in the sense that Australia has picked a fight with 3 of the most powerful corporations in the world and one of the most powerful governments. If it works, every other country will want to know how. And if it doesn't, then that means that the platforms have simply grown too powerful to regulate. What do you think about it?